Happy holidays, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and everyone out there who celebrate the holidays. I decided to come out with a video. I'm rocking the New Year's content that they added that's for free, where you get the top hat for males and females. Also, you ladies out there, you get the top hat. I'm gonna zoom in. Get the top hat for the New Year's and the glasses. I'll jump to the shop real quick, and then you get the Locomotion, where you see you can't turn the camera how you want to look. Happy New Year at the top. But what I don't like, look, you guys can't hear it, but if you got headphones on, earphones on, and you listen closely, it makes a foot noise like you're running, a running mechanic noise, running sound effect when you're floating with this Locomotion that you get also for free. So you get the glasses, you get the top hat, and you get the balloon for free. But I'm not wearing this year's New Year's stuff besides the hat and glasses that they gave us for free in the Locomotion, of course, because I liked last year's outfits and concept better. I'm wearing the gold suit from last year, the gold suit jacket, and you get the silver. It was all different types of stuff, but to me, last year's content is better from both holidays in general. I have to say, all the holidays. Last year's content beats this year's holiday events content, in my opinion. I don't know if anyone else out there would agree. I'm going to go to the shop just to show you guys really quick, because I didn't bother to show it yesterday. But today I'm going to just talk about all the updates that they added this year for 2018. And to help me, I have everything listed from the goals. I'm also going to have the 2018 goals listed in the description of this video, because I don't know how long I'm going to go, but I really want to just talk about the game this year, all the updates that they ever did, and just really say, can you really say that this game has evolved this year? Can you say that it's grown and performed well? But I'm just going to really just talk about it, because I cover every update and been playing this game since day one when it first became a beta, ever since then, from way back when the Nexus was huge, all that stuff. So I'm going to get right into it, but I'm going to show you guys the new Locomotion that you could get. So this is my only Locomotion, by the way, because I didn't even bother to buy it. So it's free, you got that, and then I'll head into the New Year's shop real quick before I get started, because we're gonna talk about all the goals. I'm gonna mention those first that they wanted to really hope to achieve. Just go here. So glasses, because everything else is not free. Just got the glasses here, 2019 New Year glasses, and then that hat, the top hat, and the same thing for females. And I'll just showcase it. See, glasses, and you guys get the hat. And also, by the way, you guys get the dresses, but these are good. But to me, you guys have the better content for this year. I'm not even gonna show whatever the males have, because nothing else is really free. It's just the hat, the glasses, and the Locomotion. But to me, the Locomotion is the highlight from the New Year's store. So we have all these different stores from the Sonys that you recognize, and I think that they're missing from the beginning. Something that I want to really would love to see. I'm not gonna get it. I'm just gonna start from the beginning. Let's just talk about the goals first before I really just start discussing it. I'm not gonna stay in the space forever. I'm gonna go between the different spaces that they added. Not all of them, because it's not safe, especially the dome. I'm not going there, and the bowling alley, I'm not going there either. But let's just talk about the 2018 goals that I'm going to list in the description that they mentioned in January when they were going to get to kick off the year. So first we had implement apartments decoration feature, add furniture apartments to the shop, Locomotions feature, PSN Trophies, release the game on Steam platform, Leafpark total rework, improve game performance, migrate to Unity 2017, clubs implementation, character editor code rework, regular updates with bug fixes, content and events, and then third-party content. Or it says add third parties content, but basically that. But that was all their 2018 goals. Now I have here listed all the goals that they didn't hit. So they did everything else besides these. They added they didn't get to the PSN trophies. I don't even think we really need trophies for this game, but if you guys are trophy hunters and achievement hunters out there, yeah, that'll be something that you guys can go for. I'll probably go for them too, but I can't really imagine the kind of trophies that they will probably, examples for trophies and achievements they might want to come out with or maybe just play a mini game, maybe add a certain amount of friends, get a locomotion or something like that, for example, or maybe just get a certain score in a mini game and whatnot, have a pet or maybe a personal space, or decorate. I think decorating your personal space, like I did a little bit here, would be like a trophy, for example. But and then the other goal that they didn't hit was getting the clubs out. So, and one thing that really caught my attention is that they said in the goals here, it says Migrate to Unity 2017. A couple of weeks ago, when they were delayed for like a good 20 days or more and didn't say anything on their post as to what was going on with it, and everyone thought they quit and didn't know what was going on, thinking that they were lost. Really lost of what was going on. What were they going to come out with next? What's the next update? The game is in need of a update really badly. They said in the post they updated it to the Unity 2018 update. So it's the last update of Unity 2018, and in parentheses it says the beta for Unity 2019 is still in the works for this game. But those are the goals that they did not accomplish. Those are 3 goals. Everything else was accomplished for this game. They added the apartments. We have apartments, the personal spaces, and all that stuff. Furniture and apartments to the shop that you guys can see. I'm gonna just go there and showcase it. See, we have all these personal spaces. We have all these different furniture that you can get. You can get whatever you want. You can purchase the bundles. You can get the bundles with the personal space. So you want to get the personal space and the furniture all together, you can get that all in one. Or you can just get them separately right here on the shop, as you guys can see. Gingerbread houses and stuff like to fit the holiday season and whatever else events you want to plan and whatnot. And we have Locomotions, as you can see on the store. As you see my avatar just running around, floating around with a balloon. Why does it just say surfboards though? See this? See, that's something that needs to be changed. And why does it have just surfboards? They're labeling it as if you read that, you're gonna think that that's all I'm gonna get is surfboards. But you have to click on it. It should just say Locomotions. They gotta change that little box. It just has a surfboard on it. See? So and then you'll see all these different variety of Locomotions. Besides the free balloon for New Year's. We got the surfboard, we got the balloon, more different surfboard designs that you want to get, and then the witch's room that I predicted for Halloween to be like a locomotion, just like PlayStation Home. So that we have, but the surfboards are okay, but that's it. I don't think that I wouldn't want to really rock those, but I still have the balloon. I would get the witch's broom or the balloon over the surfboard, but those look pretty cool, different designs, and I'm hoping that they come out with more. So we have that, just going through all the different goals one by one. So just as I said, Trophies is not here. The Steam platform was not part of the goals for this year. And then we got the Leafpark rework, total report. I should just go there if it lets me. Try to go there now. See, and this is part of their goal here. So we're gonna head there right now. And then the game of performance. I'm gonna talk about the game performance as it loads up here. For the Leafpark. No, Leafpark is not like necessarily a new space. We already had Leafpark from the beta days, from the beginning. It took them some time to open it, and they did have some problems. I was trapped there for a while. I'm not even gonna lie. I was trapped there for a while. I didn't even know how to escape. I was trapped there every time I tried to load in when the servers were really bad and couldn't stay and just hold up. You couldn't even stay on the game for 5 minutes. You'd be lucky to even stay on the server. But this was just something a rework, a total rework, and I would say it's slightly better. It's a little bit better than the Leafpark from the original Leafpark, but it's so much that they could have did to this place. As I get ready to load in, but let's talk about the game performance. Just overall this year, it's gotten better. It's gotten better. I'm gonna use the locomotion, so I'm floating around again, just to showcase it. It's gotten better with the server, the loading times. It doesn't take too long to load in. But it's gonna lag. It's gonna lag sometimes, and it can't hold all the different players and too many players in one spot because it'll lag up, and then just those different issues with glitches. Every update that they came out with will always create glitches. They will always, I was gonna say creatures. But every update that they came out with this year, it's just update after update. All the updates from this year, they would create update just problems, more problems, the same problems, and we still have the same issues from before. Getting trapped, and just walking in place, doing the T-pose emote from Fortnite, getting stuck in spaces, trapped in loading loops, and even after this Unity upgrade to 2018, you still get these same problems in the upgrade from the updates and patches that they come out with. And just looking at this space, it looks better, but it looks beautiful. And when they first came out with it, but we don't need this coffee stand. Why we have to use points to get coffee? It should be like something free for our players. But it's only a couple of points. It's not even that bad. But this is a cool place, just something a little, make it a little bit more realistic and a good hangout spot. But just games like this, the foot race, no one's playing that anymore. You're not going to go back to playing that to really try to get points unless you get just want to get the rewards. The rewards are not really all that good. And look at this game, Memorion. I'm talking about it. They came out with this update or this mini game for the Christmas update from this year, and it's not that good. It's not a Christmassy. It's not even a Christmas event. It's not a Christmassy mini game when you think of it. It's Simon Says out of all things, and just take a look at the moon bounce. I was expecting a little bit more of this. I personally like this. I personally love the moon bounce, and who doesn't like this? But I'd rather float around on this balloon than just start jumping around. This is like a disappointment. This was a little bit underwhelming. It's just a little bit low. You don't even jump as high. Let me get off this locomotion. I'm just going to show you guys. See? You don't even jump as high. You're supposed to bounce. It should be something when you jump, you bounce off and then get extra height. But it's not even, no one goes here anymore to the moon bounce castle. This should be removed, or if anything, at least improved. And he'll jump when I'm not even pressing anything. See? I've only pressed square once, and I'm jumping a few times. But it could be some stuff here. It could be a mini game right here. Why is it just foot race? And then go-karting, that's the best mini game. But we need some new tracks. I loved how they did that. Go-karts is one of the best mini games that you could play here on Nebula Realms. Coming on here as a new player, I think you can. You would love go-karts. Being a fan of Crash Team Racing, any sort of racing game, go-kart, mini game, Mario Kart, all types of stuff, you would like that. But coming on here, you wouldn't just want to just hang out here and stand still. You're not going to be here that long. You're just going to hear these birds chirping. And you can just come out and just sit here and chill, but you're not even going to want to play Memorion. And let's talk about the Memorion some more a little bit. You have to just play the mini game, and you have to just write down basically multiple calls. There's no way you're going to be able to memorize every single pattern. You're definitely going to have to get a pen and paper, or just write it down and then a text memo from your phone to just some kind of calls, button calls, or red colors in initial with letter calls like red, R for red, G for green, P for pink, and B for blue for the X button, for example, for a serial number of combinations just to get a elf outfit that could be easily put on the shop. We didn't even get any points from this year. So that's why last year's Christmas event for minigame is way better than this one. I would have the candy cane exchanger that we had. And most of you guys haven't probably even seen candy cane exchanger. Because that wasn't out for this year. That was all last year. But it's so much, as good as it looks, it could be so much more added to this. And the Oktoberfest was here, that was gone. All you get is beer mugs. That was it. And just, I think it was something else. That's it. But it wasn't really worth all that points. You'll be wasting points just for some mugs that people are not going to use. And really rock and just keep on carrying around as they're with their avatars. It's just be sitting in your inventory and just say, hey, I got the reward. Same thing for the foot race mini games. You get just a sweatband, one for your left hand, one for your right hand, and then maybe I think it's one for your head. But I didn't even bother getting those. I only got one of them. I think I got one or two of them. Then you got the boats here, but you can't really go that far. You just go behind that little cave in the water, behind the waterfall, and you just circle around this little area. It could have been a little bit better, but this one is smaller than the place you could actually go. The length of in which you could travel from the boat is smaller, but it's a nicer looking place. They could have did a lot more. I feel like they could have did a lot more for this Leafpark rework. And just with the game performance, it was so much problems. And you should have you guys should probably haven't seen it. It was boats on the land. People were just rowing boats on the ground here at Leafpark when they didn't even patch it. It was lagging so bad. It was dropping the frames. It would even crash your game, and those crashes still occur from the game performance. Even though we have we could play and experience the game for what it is, it still has some of the same problems. I think it's the same thing. It feels it's slightly better for the game performance, but it doesn't seem to be all that smooth running with all these problems. And when a lot of people get in one spot, see this guy just teleporting all across the screen. It would be a lot difficult to even try to stay and remain in the spot. And just when you're trying to host events, for example, some of you guys host events out there I could see the problems occurring, people crashing, and then places that just like the Dome, different events that was hosted, just showcase, fashion shows, all types of different events from this year. Things will go wrong. Not everyone will be able to get into the space. Some people get kicked off, disconnected out of nowhere, blue screens, and more. But it's so much that they could have done for the game performance. It could be better. I think it could be better within the next year, but they're going to need more devs to get on that. And it's too much pressure on them being a small team trying to work on everything at once. They don't have a multiple amount of people to work on these problems and these issues at once. They have to tackle every individual problem by themselves and all together as a team. They don't have people just say, oh, you take care of that, you take care of this task, and you work on the boss, you work on the item shops, you come up with the ideas, and you work on the pets and this and that and the other. With public spaces, personal spaces, and more. They don't have that. They have to get all those different team members together on one separate issue at the same time so everything can go well. But I gotta say, performance-wise, I don't think they really test these updates. They gotta test these updates when they come out with them so people can really be able to explore them. And I'm gonna get into that, heading to the newest space that really came out from a week ago. But I'm not gonna go there right now. So we talked about the game performance this year in the Unity update, which could be better, and the game can function even more. But these same problems that occur from every patch update that they come out with is really getting really out of hand, and most players will probably be fed up with it by now, if not already. And I gotta just say, the performance issues have cost people rewards. They haven't been able to play as much. They haven't been able to get the rewards. They missed out on rewards. And I'm going to talk about it when I bring up Ghost Town. There's something wrong with Ghost Town, but it's gone now. But they only gave us just a few those rewards from the collector, which was originally called the Witch's Suit. You were supposed to get a monster cap. You were supposed to get a skeleton hoodie that looks amazingly, one of the best items you could get, and one of the best rewards, arguably this year, and then shotguns. That wasn't really Halloween-y, but they only end up getting the shotguns. Some people just missed out on the skeleton hoodie and will never be able to get those rewards ever again. The shotguns was the last reward, and those performance issues have cost people those rewards. And that's just one of the several examples of the issues of what the game performance updates have done in these updates in general. I love the updates, but they haven't really been coming out with many updates. But let's talk about some other things before I really talk about the game as a whole right off the bat. The character, the clubs are not even out. Character editor called Rework. I'm going to just go to the wardrobe. Character editor. This could be better too. The wardrobe. Sometimes people can't get out of their wardrobes from this year too. It has some problems. Sometimes they'll just put you in low loose. You'll wear what you want to wear, and then it'll put you in another loading loop. See how fast it is? See, that's pretty good. See, I'm just rocking this for this particular video for New Year's and all, just to showcase the free content. But this could be so much better. I feel like it could be so much better. And you can't even get, look, let's talk about it. The characters, the avatars out there, they don't look all that good. Look, he's not blinking at all. He'll breathe a little bit when he'll stand. He look in the wardrobe. Yeah, he's breathing a little. You can see his arms and his shoulder a little bit, just moving up slightly. But he's not blinking. We should have had a more light to our avatars. But I guess this could be a little bit better. Just the character customizations and all this. This could be a little bit better. It just seems like it's the same. It seems the same thing, a little bit better, but just with some color. You could put the different colors. You could change the color of the Zylot t-shirt. It doesn't have to be its original color. Let me get this. See, it's yellow from last time. Wait a minute. See options. See color as favorite, and you can move it to storage, or I can delete it. See, I can change the color. I can pick any color I want. Because originally you couldn't do this. See, that's a little bit of the editor stuff that they added. Some cool features, so I can wear this t-shirt and rock this if I want to. If I want it. See, you change the colors and whatnot. But I'm still keeping that. Keeping this New Year's gear on. But see how they just made a couple changes here and there. It could be better. I'm hoping that they make it better and we can make ourselves give ourselves more of a livelier look, if you guys know what I mean when I say that. And these regular updates, look, regular updates with bug fixes, content, and events. But the content, let's get out of the wardrobe. Go back to the shop. These content and events, I feel like overall from 2018 has been mostly focused on personal spaces. We're going to load it up right now and I'm going to check it. I'm going to check out these personal spaces. I was just at one of the Cutter Ridge. That's my personal favorite of this year. One of my favorites. But I feel like with the content, it's just mostly been focused on clothes and then most of the part, 90% personal spaces. It seemed like that was mostly what we got this year. The focus of this year for content has been personal spaces from Juggernaut Games and all these devs in general. Let me go to the shop. Let's go to one of my other personal spaces. Let's go to a new one. Just to change, just to showcase it. See, here you go. Here you go, right here. But I'll go to the Blue A. Why am I going to the Blue A? Because this one, I like that it stands out and has an activity. It has two different things that you can do. It's not just for show, like the waterfall apartment, where that just has a car in the garage that you can just open and close, and then a nice looking bathroom that you can turn the shower on and off if you want. But that's outside of visual appeal, that's just for show. That's why I'm headed to the Blue Wave Hideout right now to show you guys the little activity that you can do and just really discuss it. But I'm going to go to the shop as soon as I load in here. Because that's something that I didn't like from this year. All these spaces and these updates, for the most part, have been personal spaces. Here you go. So how's that? See, so you got them all. We had, let's start it from the beginning. We had the greenhouse that was the first personal space to ever come out. And then they started coming out with the waterfall apartment, and then I think it was Blue Wave, and then Star Crawlers eventually came out. Dressing room and night room is the same thing. They should be. Why are they separate? They should be it should be a add-on. It's not. It shouldn't even count as a separate personal space, because the dressing room is the same thing as the night room, and the dressing room is just a little bit smaller version of the greenhouse. That's what it is. Star Crawlers, that's pretty cool. Cutteridge Estate is from PlayStation Home, and then Les Chalets is almost similar to something in PlayStation Home. That's pretty cool. But it's just a snow cabin, and it's so small with the rooms. That's all they really have. And then when you look at these personal spaces, you ask yourself, is there anything else to do besides decorating? There's not really anything to do besides decorating and just giving someone a tour and inviting people over to hang out. And if you host events, that's it. But it's still technically just a hangout. But you're not getting any sort of activities. You're standing around, walking, checking out these areas. I'm gonna head over here. Taking shortcuts. I meant to go to the behind me because it's a RC helicopter. I'm gonna fly this. Let's do that. You're just standing around. Look, it's a beautiful space. They look good. That's all they have. It's visual appeal. Dang, you see them twitching and messing up? It's a visual appeal in these different activities. But let's go back to the shop. You have all these out of all these personal spaces. Which ones do you have an activity? Or one activity, 2 activities? Only the Blue Wave Hideout has an activity. You only can just decorate and just get people to to hang out, all that stuff. And sure, Glacial has some cool interactions. Some of them have some interactions, just like I just discussed with the shower and just turning on the making the car appear and then disappear from the garage area in the waterfall apartment. And then in Les Chalets, you had the fireplace interaction with the snow globe that makes a bell noise. And then you can make it snow with the weather changes. I almost forgot to mention. You can make it snow at the Les Chalets. And then at Cutter Ridge Estate, you can make it rain. You can make it rain. You can make it rain at the Cutter Ridge Estate. But that's it. You don't have any other activities besides the Blue Wave Hideout, which I'm about to get ready to show you guys. That's why I came here on purpose. You have the RC helicopter right here. And then on the side up here, the jet ski racing, which I'm going to showcase as well. And that's what you have to add and include in your personal spaces if they want more people to buy them. And that's what I'm saying. They came out, just the whole content of this update. All these updates have been personal spaces. And right after these activities, I'm just going to fly this a little bit for a while. You just have, this is cool. You see how they make the helicopter all big, but it's just an RC helicopter. It should be smaller. See? That's it. I'm going to do a 360. But that's all you have. It's just for activities. It's just this space. You want activities? Get the Blue Wave Hideout. Just the RC helicopter. Fly this around. But you can't do so much. You only can go so far with it. And then this is what's over here. This is the jet ski that's also located in the beach. But this one is an activity because it's called a jet ski race contest, but you're not competing against anyone. It's not even a multiplayer activity. It's all single player. We need more multiplayer mini games to include people. So if you want to have people over at the Blue Wave Hideout, you want to be able to have multiple RC helicopters flying around. You could race, battle it out, and then you try to get some points. You don't get points. You don't even get Nebula points either. And that's another issue I have. The points. You still get 20 points from this year. They haven't even increased it. The cooldown still is this. You play 3 games a day, and then you got to come back tomorrow. And the same thing could be said for the newest mini games out there. They don't last that long, and you can't even grind like you want to grind for the points. And that's why I love this place, because it's activities. At least you have something to do just to kill time. Just I feel like riding around helicopters, just riding around. So that's it. I'm going to close that. So I'm going to do the jet ski racing now. But you don't have any other activities. Let's see. See? Use the boat. See, boat trip. See, you can just take a boat trip, or you can take a boat contest. But you're not gonna get points. Because guess what? Even though I already got my points for the day, you get 20 points per game that you play. You're not going to get points from this activity. I don't know anyone else has mentioned this, but you don't even get points from this little activity. It's just something to do. But that's the key to these personal spaces. Now, let's take a look at the public spaces. It's been more personal spaces than anything. Let's count them. That's what I forgot to do. See, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 8 personal spaces total, but you can't count this. I would say you have 7.5 personal spaces. You don't have like a full personal space, because it's the same thing. It's just it's just dark. The night room is just a darker version of the dressing room, but the only change is the floor pattern. That's the only thing that you can see from the personal space. You just have the You have the floor pattern. That's the only thing that's different. You have the chandelier at the top. You got the same thing. It's just a different look of it with a night cycle. It's a night cycle version dressing room with a night cycle. I'll say that. That looks almost it's just shorter than the greenhouse. That's all it is. But that's what I got. So you got 8 personal spaces. Well, I'm gonna say 7.5. Well, on the count, on the shot, you have those. Let's take a look at the public space. You got the Nexus. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. But these are not public. These are not really new public spaces. Medieval Village has a different name. It's basically Ghost Town that's upgraded in space. It's a ghost town that's been launched in ghost town in space with the starry skies that looks nice looking with fairy lights added to it. But the only new public space that they did for this year is the cube or the raised space. But the raised space is almost identical to the dome space, but it's smaller. I think they really rushed the raised space from this year. And I can't really say it's new. No one really goes there unless it's like a hangout or event from this year like I did earlier from this year. But other than that, it's not really anything new when you look at it. Because when you go there, it feels rushed. I don't even want to go there right now. But it's almost the same thing. The dome is not even safe. Otherwise, I would go. Because I don't want to get trapped in a loading loop. But the dome, it still has those invisible DJs in the back. If you guys have ever even checked over there, the DJs that are playing the music are ghosts. They're invisible. Who's playing those? Who's rocking those tunes? Who's keeping those? Who's changing those songs? Speaking of the song, same song since the beta, but the dome doesn't even have any new looks. And the only minigame there that they added was Memory On, but that's gonna be gone soon. It's the same thing. And even if they decide to keep it, I'm not gonna ever play it because it's not even worth the elf outfit. And then the last reward is just a brain. That's a big deal, but it's not even really worth it. And when you look at all these personal spaces, public spaces, where's everybody hanging out the most? The beach, but the beach is so laggy, and that's why I think they need to do better with the performance. I don't even go to the beach no more because I don't play jungle mini golf anymore. They got the jet skis there, but it just freezes. It drops, the frames drop every time that I go there. I don't even like going there. But my spot that I like hanging out now, my newest spot is the medieval space, and if anything, I'll go to the bowling alley. But the pinball machines haven't even are gone, by the way. They're still gone and need to be fixed. I don't know when they're ever going to come back with them. But when you look at these spaces, it's just almost even, if not a little bit. It seems like the personal spaces got more love than the actual public spaces themselves. And I don't think that's the right way. I don't think that's really a good idea. The Nexus is shorter. It's different from this year compared to Wave like it used to be. Everything's closer. But there's no really other activities there. The Memory On's there. Is in almost every other space. Stone Lake Castle is not even all that fun anymore. But now, since the pinball machine has disappeared, which was my space, my mini game that I like to play to get all my points all the time easily, you don't even have to play the pinball all the way through. You just let the ball go all the way through and fall down 3 times and get your points for the day. And then just bowling, that's the other best multiplayer game, 4-player multiplayer game. The go-karting, the bowling, and then that's basically it. Everything else is just one-on-one, single-player mini games, like the chess, checkers, tic-tac-toe, and then that's it. That's at Stone Lake Castle. And then you got the archery game that I've been playing since they took out the pinball machine, just spamming arrows, not even trying to really hit the targets anymore. Like that, just to get my points for the day right off the bat. But Fairy Lights is pretty cool. I think that's my newest favorite mini game that they have here at the medieval space. So I'm gonna head there soon. But just when you look at all these public space, you don't want to really go anywhere else. Everybody's hanging out at the medieval space, the inner Nexus. Those are the top tier spaces that people are going to be populated at. Everyone else is not going to be at the beach. If not, if I say a third space, it's either Medieval Village because it's new, just to play Fairy Lights, and it looks good from its visual appeal, and then just to get Fairy Lights to get your 200 points for now. And then the Nexus, and then the third space, if anything, you're going to see more people at the beach or the dome, if it worked. But the dome doesn't function like it used to right now because they need to fix it. It's not safe. And all these updates, it's just everything. All these public spaces were beginning to break one after another, except Stone Lake Castle. The other places that were really trapping people this year has been the Dome, the beach, and the race space, and then everything else seemed like it was pretty safe. And the bowling alley, I think 1 or 2 times from this year. Everything else has been safe. But when you look at these public spaces, it could have been more. It could have been more. All these public spaces, it's just remakes. The Leafpark was just a remake. We already had that from the beta. Just a brand new look with a rework, which was already mentioned in the goals. And then Ghost Town was the same from this year, but they changed it. They just made it a little bit brighter, slightly brighter. And then it didn't even have any Halloweeny music, just a couple of little Halloween noises. But you hear those crickets more than you actually hear those sound effects. That's it. And then just Medieval, it was just Ghost Town, just basically rehashed and remade. We got 2 remakes of the spaces this year, and the only new public space, if you want to count it, is just the queue, just like I said before. But the race space is rushed. There's nothing really to do. It's just see all them lights going on there, dancing on the dance floor if you want. But at least with the race space that I like, or the queue space, I like their music because they have something new. They have newer music compared to all these other spaces that have the same songs that play over and over and over. And since it's still Christmas time for the holidays, it's still the same. It's the same Christmas song from last year and the same thing over and over. It's less snow in the Nexus. It's less everything that it seems from the content that they added from this year. And I'm gonna head to the medieval space in a bit, but I gotta talk about some of the things that I want to mention for the game. The points need to be turned up. I would like to see for next year. The points need to be turned up. We need more mini games. And look at this cool wall. I got this smooth wall that they added that I like. But the female avatars and female players out there didn't even get any love for their avatar movements or their motion, running motions and walking and all that stuff. They didn't even get any sort of love. We only got this, so we got these little new dances. We all got the same amount of dances, but they got a little, I think 1 or 2 new different dances than we do. But they don't even have the new running mechanics or animations and walking animations. They walk the same and they run the same. It seems like they walk faster than they actually run. They didn't even change it, and they still didn't change it. But just when you think about it with the content, there's so much stuff that they could have did with public spaces. I would have loved to see more public spaces. And I had to say it right now, I got sick of the personal spaces. Like, I'm not even going to be there. Most of the players that are going to be here, you're only going to be there for a good few minutes. If you're not hosting an event or having some kind of get together going on at your personal space, you're going to be at a public space most of the time. And that's why I kept saying. And that's why it's just these personal spaces don't even seem to be all that worth it, because you come here just to check these activities, and out of all of them, for activity wise, you want to get the Blue Wave Hideout. But for the PlayStation Home Vibes, you want to get the Cutter Ridge Estate or Les Chalets if you want. But you can't even invite all those people there. Not everyone's going to be able to make it to the Les Chalets. That needs to be fixed. So one of the recent events I was part of, it was relocated. It was supposed to be at the Les Chalets, but it was relocated from the host to the Blue Wave Hideout because there was no other place that she could get people in together for the event, because Les Chalets was like something new. Even though it was new, it wasn't really polished all the way. It wasn't tested to invite multiple people. You only could get a couple people there, and then no one else could be able to connect. They will never make it into the space. So there's so many different things that they could have did to fix these updates. All these updates should be polished. They should be test these updates to make sure that they work properly. Don't just brush it and put something together and have them come out with something. Just because it's new. It has been a while since we haven't came out with an update. Let's throw something together and just throw it out there real quick and don't test it. And then all these problems occur for the players where they can't play and function, and it's not fair to them, and they miss out on the rewards, just like I talked about earlier. And then it's a mess for the game with all these problems just implementing over and over. Of course, the calls are going to create more problems. As I was told, every update creates a new problem, and then sometimes the similar updates happen. But updates are supposed to fix a game. They're not supposed to make a game worse. Last one I checked for these updates. So they got to do better with the updates, with the public spaces. The points need to be turned up so people can grind. And let's get into it. The tutorial for new players is a mess. Also, the tutorial is nothing really explained. There's nothing really explained with the tutorial. Well, you just get a little quick tutorial. You could press triangle to quit chat. That's it. It doesn't really tell you what you can get into. This stuff is not even labeled. We're almost at the end of 2018. This stuff is not even labeled properly. You can't tell, and I'll explain it to you guys real quick. This is just where you just the space navigator. You got the personal. This is just the icon that's exclusively going to come up when you're in a personal space when you want to decorate if you want. This is the wardrobe, and then this is just the friends icon where you can see who's online, who's in the current space and more. The shop icon, and this is the settings with the hammer and the wrench right there, obviously. But how? Not everyone's gonna know that. And then at the bottom here, no one's gonna know what that is. They're gonna just press X and just be clicking on anything mindlessly without any clue of what these are. They should really label these, and these are still not labeled after all this time from this year. And it should be organized. Everything's all over the place. Players don't have a new free content. They can't even find it on the shop. They're going to be on the shop all the time, just clicking on, look, how many shops are there? I'm going to click on it. When you click on these shops and head to the shop, and you try to get something that you want to get, they're not going to want to look the same. They're going to be limited to what they can get because they don't have a clue of what's free. They're not going to probably be PlayStation Plus members. See, look, it says free content for PlayStation Plus members. But when you click on it, you only get a shirt and then that crown. That's it. But it should be a part. It should be some kind of either a section on the side, on the bottom left, or maybe under Locomotions saying free content, or they should just probably put an individual shop, all free content that you can get available. They could put it in the text, all free content available to new players, or available for free for everyone, free for everyone, for both male and female character avatars that come on this game that are new players that won't be lost when they come on here. So people can see what they're clicking on, they can see what they're going to get into and what they can find on the shop. Because without any sort of idea, you're going to be clicking on, let me see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 shops, 45, 6, 7, 47 different shops. 47 different shops. Because you got 5 every column, every row is 5 shops. See, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 47 shots. You're going to click through 47. You're telling me, now I don't think anybody out there, whether you're new or not, you're going to try to find some other stuff that you can get to and check out all these different shops. New player or not, you want to try, just still click and check these shops out. Just because you're not going to click on 47 total shops on Nebula Realms to try to find free content. You need to come out with something that people can click on so we can see all the free content that they can get into to get access to as free players coming on here for the world of Nebula Realms as a social game, even as a former PlayStation Home fan, or maybe they've seen videos about it and just trying to have something to play that's free. They don't have PlayStation Plus. They want to check the game out for the first time. That's something that they could come out with. And just these goals that they didn't come out with and hit, for like the PC goal, the Steam platform, that's going to take a while. That's a whole different platform. I just can't imagine the time it's going to take. It's not on console. This is only on PlayStation 4. And you see how long it took them to really get everything together. Just imagine how long it's going to take them to get everything together to function properly on the PC. Steam players are not even going to want to put up with that. And I can't even imagine their attitudes and their thoughts about this game. To be honest, they probably wouldn't even want to get into it. They'll be ready to play something else, right off the bat. Oh, it ain't working, so they'll delete it, take it off their PC, and download the next game that they want to play. But they got to really just come out with better updates. And just this year overall, I just think it was all about personal spaces, all the things that they ever came out with. It's just so much stuff that they could have did. They could give free not even just the free clothes I just finished talking about. They can give them a crystal or two, give them a couple crystals, give them a starting point, give them a jump start. So they can just not just come up in here. They'll have some points where they can get a shirt or two, a couple pair of pants, and they can get a pet or something like that, whatever they want, and a couple crystals, if they anything, to get some items for their character, for their avatar, even if they don't want to come out with any more free content. Make sure things are labeled so everything can be organized so people can find it, and just everything this year has been it's just been all about the personal spaces. Barely just one public space, and then just two reworks of spaces that we already had. So I'm just gonna wrap it up here at the medieval space. But this is a good space that they came out with. But just the houses are empty, and just from this space in general, I don't even know if they're gonna probably keep it, because the fairy lights is gonna be gone. It's not gonna last that long. It's a good space, same music. But when you go here and compare it to last year's Ghost Town, it gives you that similar feeling. You can sort of hear the music, same music from last year. I'm gonna turn the music on for you guys here. But see, it's Ghost Town basically in space. See. See how it's cut off? See how the cut off? Even the chat still has some problems. See how it's lagging? See, it's lagging, and it's so many people here. See how it's doing that? The server limit should be increased. That's something else I forgot to mention. See all these people here? I can't even count. It can't even handle everybody that's here. See how it's just glitched out? And something else I want to know, I noticed. Something else that I noticed. I'll show you guys. The walls is lagging a little bit. But you can get out of the space. You can get out of this area too. There's something wrong. That's how I know. I think it was something. You can tell that they rushed, but I'm going to go in these houses really quickly. All these houses, some houses are open. Look at this. All these houses are open. But there's nothing really inside of them. You're not going to really find anything here. They're all empty houses. Trying to find that fairy lights. Oh, yeah, there it is. See, that's a see how the tree is out? You have an unfinished space from this. You have an unfinished public space. As good as this looks, this gives me that Fable Folklore from PS3 that I played. Fable Folklore and that little spacey feeling. This looks really good. But the same songs, same Christmas song, that's not that good. That's not good. And then I think this came out the same day as the meet and greet, which was a bust in my opinion. Running around trying to find the developers and all, trying to get questions. It didn't even go that well because they slipped in an update. This update came out the same day as the meet and greet, so they put this together real quick. And the meet and greet didn't even last that long. I'm not gonna run that far, but that's just wanted to show you guys that this space is good and all. It's visually, look, I can see the stairs from the inside of the house. This is not even closed. See that? I've never even seen this before. That's something brand new. I didn't know that. See, I'm glad I ran around here. See, I can see. See, I don't want it to crash, so I'm gonna stop. But you see, you have an open house. You have a hole in the wall in the house of the building. And it's something. It's not even It's not finished all the way. And these trees aren't done either, as well. They're going right to the ground. You can find your way on the rooftop. I've seen that already. Someone showed me, but it's just unfinished. There's so many different things that could have been better with this space. It looks good, but still, it has so many problems. And it just seems like they rush when they come out with these new public spaces. It seems like they rush and put it together. They don't test it, and there's just so many things, new discoveries, and new issues that you find wrong with the game. So as good as this was the newest space that they did for this year, it's not a new public space. It's a remake of a public space of the Ghost Town, but it's in space, with a different name, and they took out and they just added in fairy lights as a new mini game. That's pretty good, but it just shows that they could have. Where's the other trees at? See, it's so many problems. But I just wanted to talk about it for this year. I don't have no idea how long I went, but there's so much they can do for next year if they really want to compete. And I gotta say it, Abbey Life is coming out, and I don't think they're gonna really have a chance to compete when you come out with the same updates, personal spaces as your main focus, with zero activities to make them worthwhile, and worth to buy, with no activities besides visual appeal and decorations. Who wants to decorate their space all the time? As good as they might look. But you want to go to public space. You want more stuff to do. You don't want to be sitting here just standing around. You want to find out what else you can get into. I feel like I'm lost. All I got to do is hit the respawn button. I just got to find out where I came from. I'm going to do it. So that respawn. But it's just... See? There you go. It's just so much, and just take a look at this. I already did Fairy Lights. Why do I have to come back tomorrow? I should be able to play. Look, I gotta wait 18 hours. I'm hoping they really get rid of it. Turn this music off. I hope they really turn that off. Just turn off the cooldown. Because if it was gone, the cooldown was gone, I would grind Fairy Lights for a good hour or so and give tons of points. I got enough for another shirt. I got enough for something to buy off the New Year's store. I got something to buy. I could buy anything I want. At least school clothes wise. But it's just so much they need to do. But let me know what you guys think about this game this year. It's just, if they want to evolve and keep people playing, they need more consistent updates, and just the things that they don't really talk about in their forums. They need to speak up and make posts to keep people in the light. Don't go ghost and be scared to say something off the post on your social media platforms when people don't know what's going on. And especially the things that's been really going on with the game, you guys got to really talk about that. If you're recoding the game, you got to let people know. You don't want people to move on to their other games, because when you do that, that's how you lose players. That's how you lose interest, and then that's how you fall. You're going to lose players. People are going to move on to the next game, which they already have when Abbey Life comes out. So then when they come out with it, it's not going to be shocking to see all these players moving on. And I already seen all those people, all the names I recognize over there on their channels, getting excited for Abbey Life. But if they want to compete, they're gonna have to do better than this. They need more consistent updates. They need more activities, more public spaces. The clubs need to come out. They got to bring more people into it and keep the game afloat so they can keep people playing. But that's my honest thoughts about the game. This year was just nothing but personal spaces. Again, it's all personal spaces. They got all the love, all the updates, and they just kept coming out with it. And it just makes you wonder, what's going to be the next public space? We don't know. What's going to be the next public space? Are they going to ever do anything different? Or are they just going to keep doing personal spaces over and over and over and just close to the shops? That's it. But you guys can let me know what you guys think about the game. But that's my honest thoughts for this year. I just wanted to take the time to talk about it as much as I can for the updates as a day one player, and covering all the updates of this year. I'm gonna keep playing it, but I'm gonna also be playing Abbey Life. So if you guys don't want to play this game anymore, I can't blame those who quit, and I'm not gonna name drop. So I see some people who gave up on Nebula Realms that don't want to play it anymore. They got bored of it, and who could blame them?